Hey, Samantha,
Yeah.
remember a long time ago when we were asleep and Cordell said that disgusting P word and we got on to him? Cordell's asleep now, so it's our turn to say the words that he doesn't let us say
Yeah, that he
in the
hates.
house. He hates these words. Okay, so
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
I'm gonna get real close in his ear on this one. Baba Booey.
I'm gonna hit it with a little like left and right ASMR treatment. Baba Booey.
I'm gonna do it like the Wiggles. Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Baba Booey, Baba Booey. A Booey. A Booey.
Not in my
Booey.
junk house.
It's a psychobilly freakout!
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the one, the only Junk House Presents March Movie Madness. Our mini
First of
series.
its kind, first of its name.
First of its name. We are watching through some choice takes of a director's filmography.
Choice.
And this year, we're not letting Cordell respond to the cold open, and instead, we are watching.
Robert Rodriguez.
That one.
Films.
We're watching him.
The guy that made Spy Kids.
Made Spy Kids. Made Shark Boy Lava Girl. Made From Dusk Till Dawn. Made The Faculty. A very diverse and strange filmography for this man. He's been a little bit of everywhere.
He's been everywhere. But
been around the world, can't be your language. But the movies don't need explaining.
Because all of them share
incredible,
very good visual. Like, he has a very good visual aesthetic. So, or at least a very 90s, 2000s visual aesthetic.
A very 90s, 2000s aesthetic.
But anyway, Cordell, you did seem rather bothered by our use of a very good and funny word.
Very good phrase.
Very good phrase.
One I, not joking, use to greet only like almost every day. Like literally as a like, hey, I'm here, and also checking if the other person is around. I just go Baba Booey. Because then only will either respond with Baba Booey back or just say something. Be like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? I'm here.
So let me preface this by saying this is an admittedly not reasonable pet peeve. I will not pretend it's reasonable. I will not act like it makes any sense to even me. However, I just hate Baba Booey. I hate the phrase. I hate the sound of it. It sounds like a person making a joke, trying to sound like a toddler. Sounds dumb, and I don't like it. Pisses me off.
Well, do you want to know the history of it real quick? Because it's very short
I might
story.
as well. If I'm gonna hate it, I should know its origin.
So this guy Gary was on the Howard Stern show. I think he's a regular. Yeah, he's the executive producer of Howard Stern. And he was talking about a cartoon character named Baba Louie, which is he's a little donkey character. He's just this little cute little guy with his sombrero. And instead of saying Baba Louie, he accidentally said Baba Booey. And he's got like this thick New York accent. So he said Baba Booey. And for me, it was really funny. And I was just like, that's actually, if you hear the sound clip of him saying it too, that's my favorite. Because it's just really deep. Baba Booey. But yeah, that's literally the history. There's nothing more to that other than that. They clowned on him because they thought it was funny.
I mean, that's Fair. I would also clown on that. I just hate the sound of it, right? Like it is simply a mouthfeel, an ear feel. You know how like there's some kinds of jokes that people make, and it's like even if it might be a little funny, you're also like, come on, that's beneath you. Like have a higher caliber of humor. To me, that's just Baba Booey. It's just for some reason feels like it's just dumb. It sounds like a joke a 5-year-old would make. It does not make sense that I hate this word so much. But when people say it or when people make jokes with it, I roll my eyes internally very hard. It's just I just hate it. I have no good reason for you. But I do believe I am not alone in having this kind of irrationality. I think everybody, if you dug in, has some irrational frustration, pet peeve that doesn't make any sense. They can't really explain why it exists. They can't really defend it. And my opinion personally is that if you are aware that it doesn't make sense and it can't be defended, then just don't make it anyone else's problem, right? Like when people say Baba Booey, I just roll my eyes internally and move on. It just happened to come up. This is my Frogger water, except I'm quiet about it.
But here's the thing. I hate to say that Frogger water is rational.
Nope.
And makes perfect sense.
No.
Frogs don't die in water.
It's a platform video game. You're playing a platformer. You need to have a platformer, have something to fall into. Most of Frogger's games take place in or near bodies of water. Ergo, don't fall in the water. I will say, there are some underwater levels where it doesn't make as much sense because you're already underwater and you fall in deeper water and you do die. But it's a platformer, and I won't have it besmirched.
I'm just gonna say one thing, okay? It's a video game where you're expected to suspend disbelief to a point.
Yeah, I really did.
So I think they could have just made it to where you fall into a bottomless pit like most other platforming video games, and it would have been fine. And fuck you, Baba Booey.
I will say, Frogger water is a small thing that ruins the big thing, right? Like, Caleb can't enjoy Frogger because of the Frogger water.
Yeah, it would be like if you didn't like Baba Booey because he's saying the name wrong. If you were like, he should be saying Baba Louie, then that would be Frogger water.
Or if I didn't like Howard Stern because of Baba Booey. Yeah. You know, like that would be a Frogger water. I think this is just its own unique thing. And I think the perfect name for it
is a Baba Booey.
It's a Baba Booey.
It's a Baba Booey. Like, that's it.
I will
say. Now Cordell has to say it more.
I will say, I think it's a mouthfeel thing primarily because even Baba Louie upsets me. Like that name upsets me as well. So I think it is. I think it might stem from I dislike baby talk pretty strongly. So maybe it's because it sounds just close enough to baby talk, and then grown adults are saying it. That might be it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know that Gary also titled his autobiography "They Call Me Baba Booey"?
Yep.
Gary.
Apparently, Baba Louie was a sidekick on the Quick Draw McGraw show.
Quick Draw McGraw, good name.
Great character. I think he was the sidekick. Because, like you just said, I'm dumb. But yeah, Sheriff Quick Draw was the horse, and then he was the little donkey brother.
Actually, Samantha, I think you have it mistaken. I do believe he is the sidekick.
Oh,
to Quick Draw McGraw.
Okay. It looks like his first appearance was on Scary Prairie.
I'm terrified.
And he was created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera of Hanna-Barbera fame.
They didn't make anything else of note. Let's move on.
He was voiced by Rob Paulson in Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
No way. I love Rob Paulson.
He's great. He's wacko. He's whack. Are we trying to talk about a movie though?
They're talking about
The facility.
The faculty. You know.
The teachers. The one with
They
the teachers.
teach. The one that the teachers do the thing.
In the stuff. In the places.
I think in the grand tradition of talking about things on Junk House, we need to lead with the one who liked it the least.
Is that the tradition?
Is it actually? Or do we normally start
because
with the people
like
who
with
enjoy
Skin
it?
in the Rink, I was like, I talked about it a lot, and then I was like, hey, y'all need to talk too, because I don't want to just talk.
Yeah. Let me.
That's fair. Okay. Well, then we'll start with the enjoyers then.
Yeah,
or-
yeah. Y'all
Yes.
start.
Okay.
Y'all start the talking, and
Should
I will talk about the things that I enjoy because there are quite a bit. Like,
Should I lead then as the like biggest fan here?
Sure.
Okay. So I discovered the faculty in the way that any like teenager discovers a cult classic movie, and it is randomly. You know, like you just stumble upon it and you're like, what's this thing? And then you watch. You know, the premise is neat. For those of you who don't know, the concept of the faculty is that teenagers in high school, an alien parasite starts taking over their teachers and spreading from them to take over the whole town. And the students, this group of students that all hate each other and are from different cliques, realize that this is happening and have to band together and attempt to stop it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it. It is a good time. I personally love a body snatchers type plot. I like it whenever you can't trust most people. I like those kinds of stories where it's like, oh no, the number of people we can trust are dwindling. It's got a little bit of a zombie movie feel because of how the cast lessens and gets smaller in number as it goes on. Like the number of people you can trust and work with gets smaller. It's got some great actors. It's got Elijah
Incredible
Wood.
actors.
Oh yeah. So it's got good actors. It's got fun vibe. It's very 90s. It is so very 90s, and it's on the precipice of being early 2000s as well. So I understand people who might have pet peeves with that. But for me, it's just like, it's a happy place kind of movie. It has just enough where it subverts the norm while also playing pretty honestly into being a high school movie where teens from different cliques are being jerks to each other while also fighting aliens. Like, I enjoy it. I have a very good time with it. I've watched it several times.
And like you were saying, the cast is stacked. It's got like Jordana Brewster, who was in like all of the Fast and Furious movies. You got how do you say her name? Famke Janssen.
Famke Janssen.
Famke Janssen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. We got we didn't even say Salma Hayek or Elijah Wood. Those are both. I mean, Salma is kind of just a nurse role, but Elijah's like main dude. It's so good.
I mean, also just like shouting at the cast, some of the like, you got Christopher McDonald, BB Newworth, Robert Patrick, and John Stewart.
And Usher.
And Usher.
And a young Usher. There's Christopher McDonald. Like, this movie really has a very stacked cast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
The effects are really good. They have some practical effects for the alien whatever thing later in the movie. That's pretty gosh darn good for a 98 movie. It's also like they like pay homage. This is what the trivia on IMDb says. They pay homage to the blood scene in The Thing, but in this one they're doing drugs because the drugs that the main dude Zeke makes like dries up the aliens.
Yeah. It's one of my personal favorites too is the way that the movie makes every character a little bit of a twist on their stereotype. Like the star quarterback of the football team decides to quit sports because he wants to focus on his academics, and he's not smart, but he's pissed off because like he gets a pass on everything, And one of the examples he gives is like, I got a D on a test after winning a championship, and the teacher changed it to an A. He was like, I earned that D. I worked hard, and I worked hard to get that grade, and I want what I deserve. So it's like, he's trying to become like just a more academic person. The like stoner drug dealer dude is also the smartest guy in the room all the time. Elijah Wood is the nerdy mousy character who gets bullied all the time, and he ends up being like the hero. Like it just does a really good job of flipping the script on the normal stereotypes and letting them evolve through the movie in very, very high school movie ways.
Yeah, and like there's a character that it straight up goes, this is basically a body snatcher scenario, and like knows everything because she has seen the movies.
She's a sci-fi nerd, and so they're always asking her like, hey, what do you think? What do you know? You're the expert.
Wait, okay. That is one of the things that bothered me.
Oh, boo.
Oh, no.
That's fair.
Okay.
Tell us about
And this
it.
is like so niche. But this is a Frogger Water moment, and then I have a not Frogger Water thing that.
Okay.
But I'll get to the Frogger Water thing first. Is that character specifically said this is like a Body Snatchers thing? If she read Body Snatchers, she would know that the end of Body Snatchers is literally the aliens give up and leave. That's the end of the book. The end of the book is the aliens give up and leave because they weren't prepared for humans.
Then she's probably referring to the movie.
Yeah, the movie sucks though. So
whoa, no.
I hate that movie.
no.
It's such a
Wait,
bad
the
interpretation.
50s one or the 70s one?
50s.
70s is what I'm talking about. The
Okay.
masterpiece
I
with
don't think
Donald
I've-
Sutherland.
I have not seen that one yet.
Me neither.
You need to watch. It's got Leonard Nimoy. It's got Donald Sutherland. It is a fantastic movie. Like it is the like if you're gonna watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers, you need to watch that one because they
Gotcha.
do lose in that one, and it is fantastically done.
One thing I liked about this movie is that it is semi in conversation with a really, really good movie that came out way later. And Cordell introduced me to this movie too. It is funny to see the parallels and kind of frame it in conversation with the movie Cooties, which is a 2014 movie starring Elijah Wood, which is like a horror comedy about. It's almost like instead of the faculty giving it to the students, it's just like the students get the zombie virus and the faculty have to survive.
Yeah, which that movie's awesome.
The movie is awesome, but my not so big thing is that like the stuff that this movie does, other movies do a lot better, and I'd rather watch a better movie.
Elaborate.
Like, okay, so like, oh, I want to watch a movie that is a horror movie revolved around teens not knowing who the killer is, set in the 90s with a pretty stacked cast. I'd rather watch Scream.
Yeah, but that doesn't have aliens that steal your bodies and have weird tentacle things.
All right, so then let's go with that. I want to watch a movie that's a horror movie set with aliens where they don't know who the alien is the whole time, and there's a whole scene. I'd rather watch The Thing.
So let me
But they don't have Jon Stewart.
respond to that. Doesn't have Jon Stewart. No.
I'd rather watch The Daily Show.
Here's my response to that.
Yeah.
There are movies that do individual aspects of this film better, right? If you want to watch high schoolers overcome their stereotypes, watch The Breakfast Club. If you want to watch people not know who the alien is, watch The Thing. If you want to watch teenagers fighting murderers, watch Scream. But there is no movie that does it all at the same time.
And that, well, see, but that is kind of the issue as well, though, is that I think this movie it's less than the sum of its parts, you know? It's like, because it's trying to do all of this at once, it doesn't really do any of it perfectly, or I would say it does some of it good, but I don't think any of it really broaches into great. Which
I'm okay
like
with that.
that's like
Yeah.
like I jokingly said like semi-jokingly like, oh, I don't like this movie. It's more like I'm very mid on this movie, you know? Like none of the
strong mid.
strong mid. Like, did any of the scares really get me? No, not really.
Nope.
Like it, and like I'm a weenie. I'm a weenie hut junior when it comes to scary movies. Like I fully dipped out of several movies during Cordell's Oktoberfest. So like for none of the scares to really get me, they've got to be pretty weenie hut junior.
But it is more of a sci-fi thriller like movie than it is a scary movie. I wouldn't classify The Faculty as horror personally.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I can see that.
But it's also for me like that's why it is such an easy watch. Like it is entertaining. It does play with stereotypes. It does reference The Thing. It does reference Body Snatchers. Like it pulls a bunch of stories and plots that I really enjoy and blends them together in a movie that's fun and passable and does not stress me out to watch repeatedly.
Yeah, that's very fair. And also, on top of that, it does the funny thing of like, hey, we're going to show most of the teachers getting killed while they're in these forms. And then, they're just still all alive.
Yes,
it's very much wrapped up like a sitcom, which is great.
Yes. The credits literally have scenes of all of the different people who had been like attacked. Like they stab one dude in the eye with a pin and cut off his fingers. And in the end credits, he's smiling wearing an eye patch. Like how can you
as a bandage
how
on
can
his
you
hand.
be upset with that?
The lady that plays Jean Grey got her entire head hit off
cut her
after
whole
she
head off.
smashed. She got smashed with a car, and the body's like walking around looking for the head, and the head has some weird tentacle things. And then it just shows her later when she's fine, and she just has like a scarf around her neck.
Yep. And
So,
she's
like,
also dating a student, heavily
Yeah.
implied. Like
Yeah.
that
He
is
starts
one of the
being
worst
on the
parts.
football team.
Yeah,
It's like
'cause-
they should have ended it with him not being in school anymore, and then they could have been fine. But
Yeah, he graduates high school because he is a year behind, so he's definitely an adult. Like he is 18.
yeah.
However, it's still whack that the teacher's like in the bleachers watching him at football practice, and he like winks at her.
Yeah. I got some interesting trivia.
I would love to
Oh.
hear it.
So Delilah, the one played by Jordana,
The mean
Yeah,
girl.
this was her first movie.
Wow.
This is also apparently where this is what the trivia says. I'm not 100% sure on it, but it says it was on this set of the film that Harry J. Knowles got wind of Peter Jackson making the Lord of the Rings films. He urged Elijah Wood to go for it, even though the actor had never read the book, which Wood did, ignoring the news that Jackson was largely casting British actors, and videotaped his own audition and sent it in.
This movie gave us our Frodo.
All right, that gives.
That's true.
I'm gonna give it a little bit. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a leg up. Then I'll give it a
Hell
little
yeah!
leg
There we
up.
go. There we go.
I'm trying to think of though other movies in this caliber, in this category of film, where it's like this movie does a blend of a lot of things that don't normally get put together, and it honestly is like middle of the road in terms of quality, but because of how much it does and does decently, like gets that cult following. I know there are other movies with a similar vibe, and I can't think of them off the top of my head.
One that deserves it is Zombies. The Zombie series.
Accurate.
They're just weird and middle of the road enough that they should have a cult following.
If I had watched
Following.
them for the first time as a teenager, I would agree. Watching them for the first time as an adult, I do disagree. However, they weren't for me. They weren't made for me right now.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
I think okay. The weird thing about this movie is that it is not quite B film.
Not at all. It's like pretty well done.
It's like really well done. I'll admit that. It's not
It's our boy Robert.
B film, and it's not, but it's also not like a thing they re-release in theaters that's a blockbuster instant hit. Like, cult classics are always really hard to define because, like,
Yeah.
even like another cult classic movie I really like, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm-hmm.
It's even people who don't like it understand why it's popular, and I think that's where The Faculty sits. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. It's like right there with Rocky Horror of it's well done and yeah.
I agree with that. It's you can always acknowledge why it is good, even if you don't personally enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I found a quote from Jordana Brewster, who is honestly one of the best parts of this movie.
She's an asshole in this movie.
She is, but it works. This is a thing from her. It says, it was sort of the inverse of Fast and Furious, right? So with Fast and Furious, I was like, this is a small movie about cars. It's a fun summer project. But with The Faculty, it was like, you guys, this is going to be huge. Look at all these successes around us. Like She's All That and Scream. And then it turned out it wasn't huge. We thought it was going to be massive, but it was a cult classic at best. So that's cool.
So that's cool.
So that's pretty sick.
Also, I knew about this movie mostly because Jon Stewart jokes about it all the time.
Makes sense.
That's
I was
funny.
watching this with Only, and I think I straight up said, I didn't know Jon Stewart was in movies.
He, not after this one, he stopped mostly.
Incredible. It's the sweet spot of film. Like, this is cinema.
This is cinema. Cinnamon.
This is cinnamon.
This is feminine.
But I do think actually this is going to be very indicative of the Robert Rodriguez experience that we go through. He, with what I know and have seen of his filmography, he does entertaining and understandable things that reach middle levels of popularity with high quality and low quality. Like he is very much a like, oh, I get why people like him, even if he's not for me kind of director.
It seems like the big one that really broke out was Sin City. And I mean, like, Spy Kids was all of our childhoods, but the one that really seemed to get critical acclaim too, really has just been Sin City, because I know that so many people like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really think like with the Sin City, like how we're doing it, looking at all of his stuff, his better received works are adaptations.
Yeah.
It seems like his original stuff, or the stuff he works on that's completely original, doesn't work so well.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that From Dusk Till Dawn and The Faculty, he did not write them. He simply directed. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure the writer for Dusk Till Dawn was Tarantino. And then for The Faculty, the screenplay was Kevin Williamson, who launched the Scream franchise.
Oh.
So yeah, I think he's an interesting dude.
Apparently he directed From Dusk Till Dawn as well, but he wrote it with Quentin.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he directed Dusk Till Dawn, he directed Faculty, he wrote and directed the Spy Kids movies, wrote and directed Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and then one that I'm a little bit bummed that we won't get to in our journey with him is Planet Terror.
Oh. That might be like a little bonus thing.
If we decide to, yeah. I don't quite know where we'd find it, But basically, Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, if I remember correctly, they did a double feature. They called it Grindhouse. Like, they intentionally made 2 movies to put together as a double feature. Which Planet Terror is a horror comedy about people surviving a zombie apocalypse. But it's also the kind of movie where a woman gets her leg cut off and replaces it with a machine gun that works. Like, it's that kind of movie. So if we wanted to get around to it, we could. But like, he seems like a silly guy with a good sense of humor who, when he gets to write, likes to blend that in well. Like, The Faculty, I think a lot of its weaknesses could be chalked up to he would rather have fun than like make it the best thing you've ever seen.
Yes. Honestly, if this was a horror comedy or even just like more goofy horror,
you'd like it more if it were more comedic.
Yeah, honestly, like thinking about it, like if this was like Evil Dead, where like Evil Dead is the first one is not exactly horror comedy, but it is goofy horror. And and Robert Rodriguez, I think, is at his best when he can be goofy and be weird.
There's some goofy shots in this. Like when the big monster is in the swimming pool and it turns back into Mare Beth. They just like hold on her swimming for like 5 or 6 seconds too long. And it's like, whoa.
I think part of it too is that his sense of humor seems to be a little more dry. Yeah. You know, like his portrayal of high school is lunacy. He like in the opening scene, Elijah Wood, like the opening establishing shot of the high school, Elijah Wood's character is picked up by a group of bullies and ran balls first into a flagpole. like these two, one girl rear ends another girl in their cars and they start fighting in the middle of the road. The new girl comes up and she goes, "My name's Mary Louise Hutchinson." And she like walks up, introduces herself to like the most intimidating goth girls you've ever seen. She's
Robert
like,
Rodriguez's sister played that character.
Really incredible. But she's like, "Could you show me to where the office is?" And the girl just like stares her down and then just points a thumb in the front door of the school and then like goes back to staring off into space. Like I think the comedy's there. It is just very, very dry. Or like whenever in the final battle, because like spoiler alert, I'm gonna bum fiddle a little bit right now. Turns out the alien queen is Mary Beth, the new girl in school. She's the alien queen. But when she's trying to convince Zeke that the other ones are aliens, he goes, "Mary Beth, why are you naked?" And then she decides to attack him. Like there is a lot of humor in this movie, but it's not like pause for laughter kind of humor.
Yeah. My favorite joke is from the start of the movie, before anybody's body snatched. There's this couple that you always see and they're always fighting. They're they go in the doors, they're fighting. And then later the main people have to escape the school while everybody has been body snatched. And you see that couple and they're like the most lovey and they're like holding each other and you're like, oh.
And before that, there's a scene where the dude is just being polite and she's yelling at him and she's like, "Come on, what are you doing? And he's not responding to it. Like there's a lot of jokes in this. The fact that their secret weapon against this is the homemade drug that Zeke keeps in empty pin containers. Like, I think this movie is deeply funny, but it is not comedic.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to, that's what I think that's a good way to put it. And I think that is the problem, is that like, I want this to be more comedic.
That's fair.
Because like, I think it almost that like it is deeply funny, but it also takes itself way too seriously.
That's
like,
fair.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Elijah Wood's amazing in this though.
Oh, Elijah Wood. Have you seen Cooties, Samantha?
I have not.
Cooties is so
Cooties.
good.
I showed Caleb Cooties when we were roommates, and it's fantastic. Because it's a zombie movie, right?
Yeah.
The zombie outbreak starts because a chicken nugget factory had a sick chicken, made a nugget out of it anyway, and one of the elementary school students in the summer school eats a chicken nugget and gets sick. And the virus can only infect you if you haven't gone through puberty. So all of the adults are safe. And this like one girl who got her period is safe. And no one else is safe in this school. But like the funniest joke in the whole movie to me, outside of Rainn Wilson's in it, like Dwight Schrute's in it, and he plays the gym teacher, and he's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a running gag in there that he keeps saying phrases that are really hard to pronounce and keeps messing them up. Like dual rear wheel truck. He's like, I got a but there's a part where they're running from the zombie kids. And this teacher shows up who you have not seen before. And he goes, follow me, I do CrossFit. Runs through a door and immediately gets mauled by a horde of zombies and dies. Follow me, I do CrossFit.
My personal favorite thing is just that Jack McBrayer is in the movie, and anything he is in, I'm instantly in love with.
He's like, the funniest.
Yeah. I forgot who that was for a second, but I looked at his picture. The poster is hilarious too.
The poster is so funny.
The poster is so good.
But Jack McBrayer is a very closeted teacher, but everyone knows he's gay.
Classic.
Okay, I will say the funniest thing Jack McBrayer's ever done outside of 30 Rock is in New Girl.
Oh,
y'all ever seen New Girl?
Yes, I'm trying to remember.
So there's an episode where Schmidt is still in love with Cece, and he tries to convince himself he's over her and tries to throw away a box of memories from their relationship because they broke up. He's trying to throw it away, but he puts it in a donation bin and tries to get it out of the donation bin. And Jack McBrayer plays the person coming to collect the donation bin. And Schmidt's like, hey, you got to help me out. I'll send you a clip of this scene, but like, he's like, I got to get in there. I need my stuff back. And Jack McBrayer's response to him is, you Jewish? And for a full like 10 seconds, because Schmidt is Jewish, for a full 10 seconds, he's just like making several faces trying to figure out how to respond while Jack McBrayer is just smiling blankly at him. But he just goes, you Jewish?
Are you Jewish?
You Jewish?
I really like Jack in, have you ever seen Wander Over Yonder?
I've seen clips. It's so funny.
It's very fucking funny. It's basically, he plays this, I don't even know, this weird alien dude that's just super happy and super friendly. And like, he's got this horse that can talk and is more of the like, the Bubby from Flapjack. So kind of like the more straight man, like, what are you doing? No! But there's like these big cosmic evil villains the entire time. It's really good.
Love Jack McBrayer.
Jack McBrayer.
But yeah, watching Wander Over Yonder is what I'm trying to say.
I'll gladly go watch it. My plan for the rest of the day is to watch one of the next movies on our list.
Yeah, are we doing Spy Kids next week?
All 3 Spy Kids is next week.
That's a lot of Spy Kids I'm gonna have to watch.
It is about 4 hours of Spy Kids.
Oh, that's
not that bad.
That's not that bad at all.
Because each
that's
of them
almost
are
one
like,
Dune.
They're each an hour 20.
They're each an hour 20-ish. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. That's one Dune. That's one a Lord of the Rings extended edition. And you get about, compared to a Lord of the Rings extended edition, when you watch all 3 Spy Kids, you get about 2% of the Elijah Wood.
2%?
Yeah. The Elijah Wood ratio is way off in Spy Kids.
Yeah, sadly.
You do get a lot more Mike Judge, famed creator of Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. He plays Donovan Giggles in the movies.
I don't
I know
remember who
this
that
way
is.
too much. You know what? He is so like you've got the Cortez family, right? With
Oh,
Antonio
yeah,
Banderas, Ricardo
yeah.
Gugino, and then the Giggles are kind of like
They're
the
the
other
other spy
family in the
family.
OSS that are like, oh,
Yeah.
our kids are better than your kids.
With the hot white kids that the main characters like and want to
Yeah.
kiss.
Yes,
I will say,
Gertie and Gary Giggles.
Gertie and Gary giggles.
I remember Gertie and Gary. They always have better gear too.
Flying with the
Yes.
pigtails.
Yep. I will say Elijah Wood's cameo in Spy Kids 3 makes far more sense when you remember that he did the faculty with Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. Still so funny that he forgot he was in there.
Hilarious. Okay, well, I'm going to go to the DMV this afternoon.
Oh,
So
are you getting a picture taken? Or
no, I got pulled over yesterday. Well, I went and got my
no.
hair cut in the morning, and I was like feeling good about it. I was driving home, and I see this cop following me for a couple turns, and I'm like, well, I'm near the police station. Maybe he's going home. And then the lights come on, and I'm like, nuts. So I turn into the parking lot, and he walks up to me, and he's like, are you aware that your registration's out of date? And I was like, no. He's like, since August. And I said, I did not know that one. So he just gave me a written warning, but he was like, he's like, can you do that this week? And I was like, yeah, I can go tomorrow. He was like, okay, I work today. I work tomorrow. I'm gone for the weekend, but I'm back Monday. And if I see you on the roads without new registration on Monday, I'm gonna give you a ticket. It's like, okay.
Okay.
So I got the written documentation so other cops would know that I gotta get a ticket if I don't get it fixed.
Okay.
So I'm going to the DMV today, which to be fair, it's out since August. That's 6 months. He could have given me a ticket. Like I'm
Yeah,
happy
that was
for
fair.
a written warning.
Probably should have given you a
He
ticket
should
if
have.
we're being real.
He told me, he was like, I imagine he's like, you haven't gotten pulled over with that? And I said, not once. And he was like, he's like, I'm pretty sure every cop that's seen that ran your information, saw you didn't have any record, and let you go.
Fair. Yep. That happened.
he's
to me
like,
before,
but I'm not
he
doing
didn't
that.
Pull me over. He just
Yeah.
did the do your registration. He just like did over the loudspeaker. Which is
Really?
more embarrassing.
That's
because there was
worse.
more
Everyone knows.
cars around. Yeah. I was like, dude. Okay. And it was only like, I think like that was in November 2 years ago, and my registration like a month ago. It was like it went up in October.
Have I ever
That's
told y'all
hilarious.
about the one time I got pulled over in Parkin, Arkansas?
No.
All right, yeah. So this is a fun story. So I was with two friends, and we were heading to Memphis. And Parkin is like a speed trap of all speed traps, right?
Yeah,
They'll
literally
get
Like
sucks.
everybody gets pulled over there at some point in their life. It just sucks. So I'm going a little bit fast, as I am to do when I want to get somewhere. And I did not know this, but my two friends that are with me, right before I picked them up, had taken massive rips off of a gravity bong and were stoned out of their mind. So I should have taken the hint, because one of them asked me to, and this is not a joke, play Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel on repeat. So I had listened to Sledgehammer probably 10 times at this point, but that
You
song
shoulda
kicks
known.
ass. I should have known.
Yeah.
That song kicks ass. So like, I'm not going to question if somebody says, hey, play the best song ever on repeat, because like, that's what Peter Gabriel is. Okay. If you do not know Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel, it is like one of the greatest songs, and it has a fully stop motion music video to it, but he's in it. So it's like a stop motion person. It's not
Yo,
like
okay.
just claymation. But then there's one segment of the music video where there's like chickens dancing, but not like live chickens. These are like chicken body, like a roasted, like a pre-roasted rotisserie chicken. Anyway, that's not the point of the story, but I did have to play that song on repeat for like a very long time. It was like an hour of nothing but Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer bumping through the speakers. So I get pulled over in parking. It's like the speed limit's 55. I'm going 90. It doesn't matter. But
That's pretty fast.
it's not the fastest I've gone.
But like,
oh,
that's fast.
It was fast. And then he pulls me over and he says, "Do you know where you're going?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to Memphis." And he said, "Okay. Do you know how fast you were going?" And I said, "No." And then I lied like a liar.
Yep.
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And said, "My speedometer is not the greatest, so it kind of, it's an older car." He said, "Oh, I get that. It's totally okay. My name's Officer Tuck. I'm here to help you today." And then he gets my registration and stuff and pulls it back to the car. And then my friend next to me sitting in the passenger seat. This is not the friend who wanted me to play Sledgehammer on repeat. This is the other friend. The friend that wanted me to play Sledgehammer is now asleep in the back seat. Just said, "Officer Tuck." We're like, "Officer Fuck." And then we are dying laughing until this man comes back and he's like, "What's so funny?" And then I have to lie like a liar
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
and say, "Oh no, it's just an inside joke." And he said, "Oh no, I bet I can understand it." And I'm like looking around and like just to give you some context, the car is still like on because he told me he was like, take your hands off the wheel. And I've not been able to turn off Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel. So it's still bumping through the speakers just at a much quieter rate. So I'm just sitting there. It's like, "This is the new stuff. I come dancing in. Now we come dancing in." So like we're at that section, but
Yeah.
the last section of the song. And I'm like, obviously, it's funny because I've not been able to turn off this song because I'm a good driver and I don't touch my phone and I accidentally clicked repeat. And he can't unlock my phone because I forgot my
yeah.
password and it unlocks with my face. So we've listened to nothing but Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel for the past hour and a half.
And the cop bought it.
The cop bought it and he said, "That's funny. I'm not giving you a ticket today. You're good to go."
Yes.
He said, "Good joke. Go home."
Man, good prank.
So anyway, that's a story about the time that Peter Gabriel helped me get out of
Yo.
the ticket in Park in Arkansas.
That's why
Someone-
he's the OG. He's the legend.
Someone similar helped me get out of a ticket in that exact same town, actually. And
Hell
that person
yeah.
was Jesus Christ. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh my
Literally, I
Yeah.
got stopped for going a
Jay
little too fast.
Creasy himself?
Yeah. Yeah. We were driving back from Memphis to Searcy. Yeah. And Jay Creasy was in the car and he said, "Officer, please don't give us a ticket." No, but what actually happened?
I was like, that's a weird. Why are you lying to us?
We were going back to Searcy. And he goes, "Oh, why y'all heading to Searcy? Are you going back to Harding?" You're like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." It was me and Hudson, actually.
Hell yeah.
And he goes, "Well, I was wondering because when I looked in the back, I saw a Bible in your back seat, and I was like, these are some good people. I'm gonna let you off with just a warning tonight. Now, y'all be safe." Little did he know I hadn't touched that Bible in the back seat for months.
Yeah, but that Bible took that bullet for you.
Thanks, Jesus.
That's just like those war stories where people would have died, but the Bible saved them in their pocket.
Exactly. It didn't-
Cordell,
the
tell
bullet pierced.
us your story about getting out of a ticket in Park in Arkansas.
So this wasn't in Parkin, but I remember freshman year, I was going back for a break, and I was riding with my friend back home. So we were in her car, and it was my turn to drive, and it was later at night. And you remember the drug rug I used to wear?
Every day.
Yeah, it was not a good look for Cordy. I had a chin strap at the same time. I was a fashion disaster. And so I was wearing that. And her car was kind of ratty, kind of messy, kind of dirty. And I'm wearing that. And what was happening was the GPS was a little whack. I don't even remember where we were. but I was about to do the turn off. And it's like it's like a 55 and then it says, "Hey, swap to 45," right?
Yeah.
There was no sign. There was no sign of like, "Hey, change to 45." And I was about to take the exit anyway. And the cop turns on their lights and I can't stop because there's no shoulder. So I have to go past my exit and pull over.
Oh no.
And then the cop pulls me over, says, "Hey, you were speeding." And like, he was like, "The sign's right back there." And let me tell you, like, not 100 yards past where that sign supposedly was, did he decide to pull me over for speeding. There was no time to slow down. So I get pulled over and he comes up and he's like, "Hey, you were speeding." And then he sees what I'm wearing and decides to search the car. And so, like 30 minutes later, there was nothing in there. We weren't doing any drugs. But like, he searches the car 30 minutes later, is like, "Okay, you're good to go." But he stays there. So I cannot backtrack at all and get back in our exit. We have to go forward and try to reroute. And it added another 45 minutes to our trip of like trying to reroute and figure out a way to get back to that highway, because it was back roads at that point. Like, if we didn't get that exit and there was no good way to turn around, it was stupid. I was pissed off.
So anyway, Junkhouse says all cops are bastards.
Are bastards. You know what we haven't done in a while? The Everything Draft.
Oh, I thought you were going to say read reviews and they're really bad, so guess the movie.
We did that last episode, though.
Right, but you always have a fun little segue for it.
Yeah, but I mean, true. Thank you. I appreciate your trust.
I wanted to acknowledge the work you've been doing.
Yeah, thank you. But we haven't done the draft in a minute.
And lately we've been doing a kind of the fun thing
draft.
A special draft where one of us doesn't know. So the two of you haven't done. So do one of you have a thing that I can mute for, so I won't, or I can deafen for, so I won't know, and that'll be the fun thing?
Yeah,
I think we got one.
Deafen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gone.
Okay, he's gone.
Okay, so here's my pitch.
Okay.
We should draft things that Caleb would want to draft.
Okay, I love that. I think that's incredible.
Right? The whole theme is just things Caleb would want to claim. So we're gonna claim them first.
Oh my god. Okay, we need the list though.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have Caleb.
Caleb, come back. He's not looking.
Caleb,
he's looking
come back.
down. Oh no.
Caleb, look up.
Oh no.
Okay, he's back. He's back.
I've returned.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
will you read off the list of what we've drafted so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, so far, Cordell has the platonic ideal of a beanbag chair, Candy Wife from The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, live action Scooby-Doo movies, The Cosmere, The Mythical Island of Xanadu, and Fallout Boy. Samantha has Ichiro Oda, Weed and a King Palm Blunt, Nicolas Cage, The World of Pokemon, John Baptiste, and Power Rangers. And then I have Matthew Mercer, The Legend of Zelda series, Slaughterhouse-5 by Kurt Vonnegut, Linda Cardellini, Rivers Cuomo, and The Color Blue.
Okay. I think I got a good one.
Okay.
I think I got.
So this will go Samantha Cordell, Caleb, Samantha Cordell.
Okay, I'm going to take the album "Beat the Champ" by the Mountain Goats.
Oh.
I didn't want to be too mean. And this one fits, so I'm not going to take all of Mountain Goats, but I'm going to take the album.
Fair. I'm going to take Magic the Gathering.
Oh, and that fits so well. Oh my god.
That fits so well, right?
Damn.
Right?
Oh no, this is
Hmm.
this is hard. I feel like I just kind of want to draft something I like just so I can have it, you know?
Okay, that's always a very fair decision.
Because I don't have a lot of information to go on other than both of these are things that I really like. Both of these are kind of about competition because, like, Magic the Gathering is competitive. Beat the Champ is about wrestling. Um.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna claim my favorite comic series, Hulk Gray.
I know how much you love Hulk, but for some reason I thought Hogan was coming after you said Hulk.
I'm gonna claim Hulk Hogan.
No, but okay. That's a good series. That's very good.
Very good series. Oh, so good. So good. So good.
You know what I'm saying?
Minecraft villager noises. Oh, Beat the Champ.
That's
is
the
such
issue.
a-
I had a good Beat the Champ is just such a good starter. I don't know what my second one should
I
be.
don't.
I've got my second draft pick. So easy.
Do you
I got
want to
it.
just drop it then while I think still, or do we need me to wait?
I can drop it. I can drop it.
Drop it while I'm still
Drop
thinking.
it like it's hot.
Caleb's dog Wilder.
No,
What?
you took my boy.
I got your boy.
Oh no! Oh no! No,
They're
you have
crying.
an electric. You better draft an electric blanket next, you fucker, because he loves that thing.
Can't draft for until another draft. That's my second pick for this round.
Ugh.
Shit!
Um.
Oh no, where is he?
He can
Where's
land
my
the platonic
boy?
ideal of my beanbag chair.
Okay, he would probably. Well, he would have trouble getting up. His legs are kind of wonky.
I'd pick him up. I'd pick him up.
We can
Okay.
hold him.
He's my wongy boy.
He's your Wongy.
He's my
Pretty
boy
wongy.
now.
He's been being kind of a stink lately.
What was he been doing?
He's been trying to he's been acting like he wants us to let him outside, right? So he'll act like that, and then we'll start walking towards the door, and then he'll run to in front of the fridge where we give him treats.
Oh, what a stink.
Little stinker bug.
I'm going to draft the class Warlock from D&D.
That's good. That's good. Very on theme.
This theme is honestly a hard one, though. I was struggling.
It's a tough one. I feel like I had some good corner case picks that got me there, though.
Yeah, it's also just kind of a more broad category. So it's
Yeah.
like, which one do you really want to take?
Right. When you can draft
So-
everything, what do you draft?
Exactly.
I have to pick a thing that I think fits in the category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
the 12th Doctor from Doctor Who.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Now, Caleb, do you have a guess as to what you think
Is
the
it
category
is it just shit that Caleb liked?
yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically, it was things Caleb would want to draft.
You got my dog. God damn
You
it.
I got your dog.
But now you can hold him as a hostage and get something that you really want from Caleb.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I think
Once we get a
trades
few
are
rounds
allowed
in,
later.
Oh, we can
I
start
think
trading?
I think trades are legal. And I want to pitch a trade right now because I want my dog. Cordell, I'm willing to trade you beloved actress Linda Cardellini.
Oh my god. That is an
Yes.
incredible trade.
Yes. I was holding out for that. I really wanted my girl Linda. I will trade your dog Wilder for Linda Cardellini.
It's in your list
Incredible.
now.
You should
Incredible.
note when they've been traded though, too, because I don't think
I
I don't
will-
think we should trade
Put a
anything
little
more
T
than once.
next to him.
You know,
Yeah,
I don't know how real
trading
drafts
once,
work.
Trade him once, and then that's locked. Whoever.
Yeah,
it is.
once
It's
you
like a
trade
white
it, it
elephant.
is locked in. Yeah.
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 traded for. I'm noting. I'm not only noting that it was traded. I'm noting what it was traded for.
That's
because
good.
I feel like that would be
That's important information.
traded for.
While you're typing that out, I have a fun little new segment.
It's
a really short one. It's just going to be a short one. So everyone knows that I like One Piece. That I've been reading it. I've been watching it a little bit. So I thought,
the streets
why
have
don't
been
I
a
use
buzz
that?
with it.
Exactly.
People have been talking about it.
What I'm going to do, we're calling it 1 minute, One Piece. 1 minute, One Piece. The One Piece is real.
The One Piece is real!
Can we get much higher?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap the last chapter that was just released of the One Piece manga. But I'm going to do it with no context and no spoilers.
Nice.
Okay, so this week's breaking news. Pizza fights back.
That sounds like a bad night after Domino's. A little reflux.
I like that.
But a great chapter of One Piece.
A good One Piece chapter?
Good One Piece chapter.
Good.
Come on back next week to hear 1 minute One Piece again.
Can we get much higher?
Here's my thing, Sammy. I now want to make you a song for 1 minute One Piece that will be longer than the segment itself.
That's funny.
But so that's a good idea. But do you even know the thing that I was referencing when I said the One Piece is real? Can we get much higher?
I've seen the memes, but
okay,
I don't.
It's a massive meme.
Yeah.
So like I think you do that, but I was also gonna test if can we get much, and then just like cutting and saying the One Piece is real. Can we get much, and cutting it would be a funny intro as well.
We'll both do the intros.
Yeah.
And then we'll see which one works
We'll
best.
judge on air which one is better. I think that's perfect.
Speaking of things that are perfect,
It's
our opening and closing theme song, Psychobilly Freak Out by the Reverend Horton Heat, off the album Smoke 'em. If you got 'em.
If you are allowed to have them, you should smoke them.
What if you don't got them?
Then don't smoke them. And if you have them, don't smoke them on a plane.
Important.
What?
Caleb knows that now because he's been on a
I
plane.
know that now.
He's been
I'm
on a
a well-seasoned traveler.
If you're a well-seasoned Junk House listener, you should rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I almost said iTunes. We also have a Twitter and a TikTok at Junk House Pod. Also, just like tell your friends about us. It's a funny show. We laugh sometimes. Ahaha.
Write me an email. Do it. Do it. I was gonna hold Caleb's dog Wilder hostage and threaten to kill him if you didn't email me, but I just traded him away.
I only got Linda Cardellini though.
And I would never do that to her. I'll kill Candy Wife if you don't email me at junkhousemmailbox@gmail.com.
He'll do it in one bite.
Oh, I was gonna shoot her in the head. I was not gonna eat her. I'm not a pervert. I am a pervert.
I am a pervert. Well, I was just say every week.
Cordell is indeed a pervert.
I saw this TikTok where I thought Timothy Chalamet was voguing, but it was just a dancer that looked a lot like him.
It's a psychobilly freak out!